Comprehensive review of all the available footage and reporting on the matter led us to a final conclusion that as many as 10 civilians were killed in the strike, including up to 7 children. At the time of the strike, based upon all the intelligence and what was being reported, I was confident that the strike had averted an imminent threat to our forces at the airport.
Hey everyone, this is Mr. Obvious, and today we need to talk about the Pentagon and the White House admitting that the Biden administration killed 10 civilians in a drone strike, 7 of which were children. Not only is it clear to me that the US government killed a bunch of civilians and children for no reason, knowing that they were wrong, making this not a tragic accident, but a cold-blooded culling. In other news, Biden has vowed to deport thousands of Haitian migrants after 14,000 migrants showed up on the border trying to enter the US illegally. Is Joe Biden going back on his word and finally defending the borders? And in other news, the FDA panel votes 16-2 against recommending to approve booster shots for healthy people under 65. But we're going to talk about all this and more, but before we do, remember to clickety-clack the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell to turn on notifications, and support the channel by sharing this video with your family and friends and on social media. And now a quick word from our sponsor. Introducing Webull. Webull is an easy and convenient trading app where you can buy and sell cryptocurrency and stocks. Right now is a really good time to invest. Open an account and deposit $5 and you will get 2 free stocks, worth anywhere up to $1,400. Folks, it's basically free money. I think it's gonna be a very big month for crypto and stocks. Join today by clicking the affiliate link down below. And we're back. Let's talk about the Pentagon. Here on the New York Times, Pentagon acknowledges August 29th drone strike in Afghanistan was a tragic mistake that killed 10 civilians. Now I'm gonna break this down for you, because we have confirmation of this today, and what you are about to see, I warn you, is truly, truly disturbing.
The military had given lower-level commanders the authority to order airstrikes earlier in the evacuation, and they were bracing for what they feared was another imminent attack. To reconstruct Ahmadi's movements on August 29th, in the hours before he was killed, the Times pieced together the security camera footage from his office with interviews with more than a dozen of Ahmadi's colleagues and family members. Ahmadi appears to have left his home around 9 a.m. He then picked up a colleague and his boss's laptop near his house. It's around this time that the US military claimed it observed a white sedan leaving an alleged Islamic State safe house around 5 kilometers northwest of the airport.
Now, pay attention to all this information. Let's make it very simple. The Pentagon got a credible report that a white sedan had left a Taliban compound, and they were worried about an imminent attack. Then they found a civilian which was driving a white Toyota Corolla, and they thought that his movements were suspicious because he worked at a private business, and he would carpool with other co-workers helping them get around, as cars are somewhat of a luxury in certain countries. Here's the problem, my friends. Looking through this footage, you can see that Afghanistan is jam-packed with white cars.
That's why the US military said they tracked Ahmadi's Corolla that day. They also said they intercepted communications from the safe house, instructing the car to make several stops. But every colleague who rode with Ahmadi that day said what the military interpreted as a series of suspicious moves was just a typical day in his life.
You saw all the white vehicles in the video, right? White sedan, white sedan, white sedan. There's white sedans everywhere. They went after this guy's white Toyota Corolla, and basically they got the wrong guy. He was the wrong guy. He's just a private citizen, a private worker, getting water for his family, getting food for people. That was his job, to help the effort in Afghanistan. And they blew him to smithereens, including the charred bodies of 7 children. And now the government, they admit that this was all a massive mistake. Here on the Daily Mail, the following headline, take a look because it's going to make your blood boil. Here it says, the CIA issued a warning that children may be at the scene of the Kabul drone strike before the missile hit the car. Family of dead 3-year-old demands person responsible is punished and says he will accept compensation from the U.S. military. Now, there's many people out there who are wondering, how did this happen? I think it's very simple. This is what happens when you have a president who practically has dementia running the show, because he makes the final call, and at the end of the day, it's all on his watch. It's all on him. He said it himself. The buck stops with me. I wanted to highlight the depravity and the sociopathic nature of Joe Biden. Let me make it very clear. The United States government blew up a family. There was no second explosion like they initially said in the media. They now admit that that was a lie. There was no bombs in the car. The New York Times video/documentary/investigation shows that the only damage was from the Hellfire missile fired by the United States. The next day, Joe Biden comes out on TV and he brags about blowing up some terrorists and stopping an attack. The whole government bragged. And I reported on initial reports which said that children were killed in the strike. You can look through my catalog, look at my videos. I said the United States blew up some kids. Now we know that not only did they blow up a bunch of kids, there was no terrorist. But let's talk about the border. Exclusive. Border Patrol are given police escort as they begin removing 14,800 migrants from underneath Texas Bridge after Biden vowed to deport thousands back to Haiti. So Joe Biden has recently done a sort of 180 on the Texas border, saying that he's going to start deporting a bunch of Haitians. Why? Mostly because there's just way too many. He said that he would allow people to come and be refugees. As usual, this caused a bunch of migrants to storm our border because apparently America is so wealthy with all of our joblessness, all of our homelessness, all of the suffering and starvation and poverty, we can totally just pay for all these migrants. No, I don't think so. I am anti-immigration. I am anti-migrant. If you ask me, only people with high IQs or educated skills should be allowed to come, like engineers and doctors. All these other people, I just don't care, okay? America has its own problems. Why aren't we helping Americans? But that's Joe Biden. Everyone else first, Americans last. This is what Democrats voted for, to put America last. Oh, but they'll blow up kids. They'll fire millions of dollars of missiles to blow up children in other countries, but Lord forbid they actually feed children in their own country. So I want to segue to the FDA. The FDA has recently voted 16-2 against recommending to approve Pfizer booster shots to healthy people under 65 because there is not enough evidence, and I quote, safe and effective. Now this is according to a recent FDA decision. They do, however, recommend booster shots for people over 65. This makes total sense to me. I mentioned this on Twitter, and this is what they're saying. Now, I don't know if these booster shots are truly good for people or needed or what. I'm not a doctor. You talk to your doctor. Get your own medical information to make your own medical decision. I do not offer medical advice. That being said, I think this is important because the Biden administration has been saying that they want to rush out these booster shots and force everybody to take them. And this has caused a lot of controversy in the scientific community because they're not convinced that this is truly good or necessary. Here it says, an independent panel at the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, has voted unanimously to recommend approval of booster doses for the Pfizer-BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine, but only for specific at-risk groups. So they did not say that no booster shots are necessary, that they would recommend booster shots to at-risk groups who may need the extra immunity. This is a very, very reasonable decision. I understand that it will not be popular with some people. Trust me, I understand where you're coming from and what you're saying, but I think it's reasonable. At-risk groups may need the antibodies. Studies show that after receiving a third dose, hence the booster shot, you get a huge storm of antibodies. That was what one study said. Again, this is still being researched. So it would make sense to give this to at-risk groups, but not recommend it for young, healthy people. But that, my friends, is pretty much the story. You know, Trump came out and slammed Biden, saying that Afghan civilian deaths by airstrike have basically risen 330%. it's very true. Since Donald Trump was president, Joe Biden has been bombing and bombing and bombing people. By golly, it's just like Obama. Drone strike in chief 2.0. But that, my friends, is merely the obvious. Well, that's all for now, folks. What do you think about this story? Let me know by commenting down below. If you want to donate, support the channel by joining me on Patreon or Subscribestar. This channel is currently not monetized. It is supported by viewers like you. If you want to donate, check out my donor box page or send me crypto. Links and addresses are down below. As always, thanks for watching. This has been Mr. Obvious, and I'll see you all next time.